Hello everyone, Equipment War here, and welcome to my building progress in the Bridge League. And in the Bridge League I'm working on a crit blade flurry build. And so far this has been a blast to play this build. It's so much fun to play. They do a ton of damage, but I don't have the best viability yet. I still need a little bit better gear, and I still need, well, to level up a little bit more. I am almost level 80 right now. And in the end of this video I'm going to go a little bit about how I think about the build and the current state, and also going to show a little bit on the passive skill tree. But first I want to just show it off a little bit. If you understand, let's see if we actually can fight the boss here. I want to show the power of it. Remember, this build do not have godlike gear, so you can probably have a lot better damage. But the damage I have right now, it's good enough, because I pretty much one-hits everything. And it haven't actually been expensive to make, just some basic knowledge about trading. And a little bit of luck, I want to say luck as well. And I've got some decent items for this one. So this is the character I've been working on. And I'm using, I actually dual wielding, and I'm offhanding Soul Taker. And I'm using Abysses, and I'm going to show them all in just a minute here. So let's actually find the boss so we can see how much damage I do to bosses. So let's fight the boss then. Just to show how much damage I do. And then we're gonna take a look at my gear and how I think about the build when I made it. I need to be pretty careful for physical damage, because I'm using Abysses. As you can see, I almost took down the bosses. What is that? Oh, another enemy here. I'm doing a lot of damage because I'm doing physical on me, which hurts. I also have lower resistance on this map, so I need to be a little bit careful. And there we go, and I level up as well. It was a twisted map, so... But then you have seen the power of it. But I need, as I said, more survivability. So let's talk a little bit about how I made this build and how it works. My first idea for this build was actually to use a shield and a sword. But then I figured out, well... I don't know if they do damage enough, so I went for the obvious choice, dual wielding, because I want damage and I love dual wielding, so why not dual wielding it? Let's take a fast look at my passive skill tree and my items. I'm gonna start my passive skill tree. I am a duelist. I went for all the physical damage in the beginning. I also have this wonderful attack spin accuracy note in the beginning. I went for bravery, artifact gladiator. I have the whole dual wielding wheel here. I even have some accuracy here, which I actually really need. I have Golem's blood, another Yule here. All my Yules have additional chance to block when dual wielding. And then I try to get as much damage as I possibly could get to them. I also have Golem's blood, cloak and chain. I went for iron reflexes, amber dexterity, and blade barrier for even more protection. And even a little bit of damage. I went up here. I took these life notes here. I'm gonna take this one when I level up next time. I also have Path of the Warrior. I have Berserking. Another Yule here again. Additional chance to block. I would love to take this one, but right now I must prioritize my survivability. And I went to the Maraude area. I went for Heart of the Warrior. I have Versatility. I also have Diamond Skin. I'm planning on taking Armor Mastery. I went for Strong Aim, Barbarism, and Dismembering. And if I get enough points, I want to take this Critical Strike Multiplier. Another Yule here again with block chance. I also have Juggernaut and Unwavering Stance, so I not get stun locked by physical damage. That's pretty much my passive skill tree. And in my Ascendancy skill tree, I only have ascended 3 times. I went for Painforged, Versatile Combatant, and I also have Grotescus Violence, or whatever it's called, I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. To get some bleeding. I don't went for Outmatched and Outlast because I feel that this one is a more versatile note and it will help against bosses. And probably when I ascend for the last time, I probably won't take a Violent Resolution. So let's take a look at my gear. As I said, you saw before, at first my idea was to use a shield and a sword, as I showed before, but then I went for dual wielding, and I actually are fake dual wielding right now. So in my main hand, which are the weapons that do the damage, are the Touch of Anguish, and I'm mainly using this weapon for to have decent damage, decent crit chance, decent attack speed, and it's a really cheap weapon to get. And I don't care about the effect that I have 20% chance to gain a frenzy charge when I'm killing a frozen enemy and all of that, because I don't really care about that. In my offhand, I'm using Soul Taker, so I never run out of mana. Another option you can use are Bright Beak or Death's Hand. And actually, I'm gonna try out Death's Hand later when I get enough currency to get one. Or if I actually get the luck and it drops for me, you never know. And then I'm using Abyssus to get the obscene amount of damage, but I sacrifice protection against physical damage, so I need to be really careful against physical damage. And I still need a little bit more life, so I need to be careful against hard-hitting things, but you should always be careful against hard-hitting things. And then pretty much all of my gear are defensive. I have a really good armor here. I'm really pleased with this armor. It was quite expensive, but I had some luck with some EX dropping, so I get this one. And then my rings, life, and the resistance I might need, and all of them. And I pretty much have maxed out resistance right now. And I have these decent boots. They are actually one of the things I need to upgrade because I want some more armor on them and even more life if I can get that. And I have a very defensive belt here with some armor, really good life, and some resistance. And I have another offensive item, which are Malagos Virtue, which increases my crit chance, a little bit of attack speed, a small amount of dex, and a good amount of critical multiplier as well. And that's pretty much my gear. Right now I'm just using, I haven't worked any of my flasks, so they are pretty weak right now. And my skill game setup. Blade Flurry are supported by melee physical damage, increased critical strike support game. But I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna use this one later or not, so I will see what I do. I may change this one and I may not change it. I don't really know yet, so I need to experiment. And I'm also using added fire damage, weapon elemental damage, and I'm using faster attacks. And that's a setup which seems pretty powerful. But one other thing I could use instead of increased critical strike would be to use increased area of effect if I want to clear a little bit faster. And also increased critical strike damage would also be an option. So there are a lot of options, so it's an interesting thing you can do with it. And other things I'm using Arctic Armor, because when you're channeling, you're standing still. So Arctic Armor will protect you against physical damage and fire damage. Mostly against the physical damage, because it hurts a lot when you're using Abyssus. And I'm also using Hatred and Herald of Ash. I'm also using a Whirling Blade, which are not supported by anything special. I think I just have it on my gear. Oh, there it was. Oh, it is supported by faster attacks, sorry. And I also have Leap Slam, which I can't currently use, but I'm leveling up anyway. And I have a Fortify support gem, so if I Whirling Blade through an enemy, I will get Fortify. And there are actually an option to use Fortify in my main damage setup to gain a lot of protection against pretty much anything. I also have a damage setup when I'm blocking. I'm using an increased critical strike support gem, and it's supported Vengeance and Riposte. I used to have another skill gem there, but I just need to have it there again, so there should be melee physical damage in that. And then I have a Herald of Ice, I'm leveling up. I also have an Empower, which I found, so I'm leveling up that as well. So that's pretty much my setup for this character. And if you have any questions about the character or any suggestions for improvements, because I'm always up if some of you know an improvement, but so far this character has been amazingly powerful and I'm really pleased with it. I hope you guys like it. Anyway, thank you all for watching and see you guys soon.